Hello, I'm Charles Scheller, and today we're going to talk about Beethoven's beautiful Piano Sonata in C minor. I could go on and on about how beautiful this piece is, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into how this piece works, and hopefully you'll understand a little bit more about this piece and piano sonatas in general after this. So, we'll dive right in with the A section. Now, let's listen to the entire A section and go from there. So, one little thing to note about this is essentially what the intended feel of the piece. It's supposed to feel basically like a singer with piano accompaniment, as if the treble clef was the singer and the bass clef was the piano accompaniment. So, this happens throughout the entire A section, and this piece repeats 3 times throughout this whole thing. The third time it varies it slightly, but we'll get into that once we get into the end of the piece. But anyway, the second part of this piece is called the B section. Surprise, surprise. So, the B section, the B section, I would say, is essentially a hook to, you would compare it to a hook in a famous pop song, say. And generally, hooks are the sort of verses that lead into the chorus. So, when the B section comes in, it sounds like the hook to a chorus in this piece. And so we'll listen to it briefly, and we'll listen to like 2 measures of it, and see if you can feel that same way about the piece. So, B section. We'll actually listen to a little bit of the A section first. So, you know, the end of the melody. Ends right there. So this essentially sounds like it's going somewhere. To a giant moment. Now here it kind of tumbles down a little bit. Now it's ended. But it hasn't ended. So, essentially what he's doing right there is, oh, we're not going to lead you up to the chorus. We're just going to end it right here. And basically you think the piece is over then. So, what he does instead of ending the piece right there, he essentially has to go back into the A section first. How do you get back into the A section? So let's listen to what he does. It's actually pretty interesting. And now we're back into the A section. So, essentially, it's almost comedic how he does that. He goes down by half step, and simply goes down back into the A section. And he almost descends from about 2 measures before that. So he just constantly just descends in a chromatic scale, or basically just sounds like he's going down all the notes. So the next section is now, of course, the C section. And so basically, by now, at the C section, we've heard essentially the same melody for almost 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 38 seconds to be exact. And so essentially Beethoven probably says, hey, I just want to switch it up. So he goes into an interesting change up from the first page of the piece. So let's have a listen at that change up. I'll start from the end of the the second A section. So end of the second A section. Now this is completely different. So what's interesting about this is he uses, instead of basically rhythms grouped into groups of 4, he uses it into 3s, basically, or rather 6, because he kind of has that like 2 beats per bar feel, and so he changes it from 4 to 6. So essentially 6 makes it more, it feels like you're kind of pushing forward more. So that's an interesting part about that. And one interesting thing he does with the A section, with the third A section, told you I was gonna talk about that. He essentially rewrites the A section in that triple meter, essentially 6. Same progression, just different rhythm. So that's interesting. So now, of course, it's time to end this. It's something called the coda. So it could end right there, but he keeps going. It has a formal ending to the piece. Does it end? Nope. Does it end? Oh, it's gotta end right there. It finally ends right there. So, this piece is very beautiful. It's a very beautiful piece, and it's actually even more beautiful once you understand what he was trying to do with the form of the piece, essentially, and like how he essentially gets down to all the A sections and changes rhythm. I mean, most people don't think of rhythm, but if you think about that when listening to any piece, then if you think about form, you will generally have a better understanding of music. So that has been 9.5 minutes of lesson. So